Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome back to Black Culture Talks. I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And today, as promised, we will review live how to find some of the best airfares for a planned trip, an unplanned trip. If you just need a getaway for a week, a weekend, we're going to do live demonstrations on how to find some of the best fares out there. And one of my favorite go-tos is Google. We're going to use two sites, but we're going to start with Google. I always like to ask, please do me a favor, take a second right now to subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. On our channel, we discuss WTF, everything related to wellness, travel, and finances, specific to the Black community. So these are gems that are shared widely throughout other communities and not so much with ours. So I like to bring these tips, these tricks, these gems to us with the hopes that, we'll take advantage of them. So we cover the three topics that I think are paramount to the success of our culture. Like I said, wellness, travel, and finances. Today, it's all about travel. So let's go ahead and get started. I am just going to do an example live. And if anyone wants to put an example later, I'll try to get to that as well. I do want to keep this again with a respectable time. It's the weekend and I know we got things to do. So again, we'll try to keep it short and sweet. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I am in Google, the main page of Google. And I am just going to type in flights. And the first link that says Google Flights is what I'm going to connect to. Now, it will come up with suggested flights. I don't know, where the suggestions come from, other than the fact that it already has, I'm based in New York. So as you can see, I use this. So it's already populated with a New York departure. And then it's asking me where I want to go. It has some pre-filled dates and all of that is going to be changed. So let's go ahead and start changing some things. So I just want to make sure that the screen is showing. Okay. So the screen is showing perfect. So what I like to do, you can look on the left-hand side of your screen and it has all of the searches that you can take advantage of. If you have certain travel that you're looking to book, this would be the first tab. Second is explore. So if you just know you want to get away, you have no idea, but you have maybe a budget in mind that you want to spend, you can explore this beautiful world based on your budget and see what comes up. Things to do. So that's activities that you may be interested. So think of Airbnb experiences or something like that, but you can search by things to do. You can also just search flights and flights alone. You can search hotels alone, or you can search vacation rentals. So I am going to start with my favorite, which is explore, and show you how to see what's happening, what type of deals are out here. So it will populate based on, your outbound flight or where you're leaving from, and it will give you suggestions based on low fares. And it's giving me suggestions based on, this is already populated as well, a 1 week trip in the next 6 months. And you can see from airfares, we have everything as low as Miami, 62, Atlanta, 38, Montreal, Canada, 251, Chicago, 214, Denver, $140, Los Angeles, even 146. And these are round trip. And on the side of the screen, or the side of the map, you will see Miami's nonstop, Fort Lauderdale's nonstop for $62, the Everglades nonstop, Key West, Los Angeles nonstop for $146. So you get a glimpse into the types of deals that are out here. What I like to do is, well, you can see if you expand the map, you'll get more deals. Houston at $88. That wasn't what I was going to do next, but it works. So if you want to go to Cabo San Lucas, it's $293. Cancun is $270. So depending on your budget, you can select. But we can drill down even more. So let's just say I want to go to Europe. We'll pick the first of the drop down. So the continent of Europe, I'm going to select. I'll keep a 1-week trip in the next 6 months. That's okay. And it will automatically populate on some of the best deals that they think are out here. And I must admit, you can do Rome for a week, airfare, $388. You can do Madrid, Spain for $440. From New York, you can do Paris, France from $385. You can do Copenhagen from $385. You can do Edinburgh for $493. You can do Dubai for $625 round trip for 1 week within the next 6 months. And once again, you can scroll to see what type of stops are included. If it's nonstop, if you have a layover, the total flight time. So Paris, it's nonstop for $385. It takes 7 hours and 35 minutes. You can do Rome with one stop that will take 12 hours for $388. And it also gives you some low cost lodging. So hotels from $96 in Rome, hotels in London from $112, Bath $109. So let's just go ahead and pick one. I want to pick one that has a nonstop flight. So let's pick the first one. Let's just click on Paris and let's see what other information it gives you. We're going to go through the filters as well too, because you can change the filters, but let's just click on Paris, and it gives you the week. So from Monday, April 17th to Wednesday, April 26th, the flight that we just clicked for $385 from New York to Paris is available. And it tells you, if you keep scrolling, the airlines that will offer that flight. Now, it's up to you, to choose the airline that you want. As you can see, there's a difference in prices based on the airlines. So let's just click on to view all of the flights. And the filters will pop up on this page too. And this is where I'm going to change the filters, because you get a full view of all of the filters that you can change. So if you scroll down, you can do a nonstop using Delta. It's going to cost you almost double. But if Delta is your preferred flight, and or if you have points, right, for Delta, then you may want to use Delta. And if you don't care about the airlines, then the cheapest, the most inexpensive flight that you can get is on North Atlantic Airways. I've never taken them. But it's an option. You can do your homework and see the reviews, but I want you to notice that you cannot bring a bag, right? The bags will be extra, and that can make the price go up. But it gives you more information. If you hit the drop down, it tells you where you're leaving from, JFK to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. It's an overnight flight. It's 7 hours and 35 minutes, and you can check back for a fee. Fares are non-refundable. Taxes may be refundable. Ticket changes for a fee. Bag and fare conditions depend on the return flight. So that's just a way to get started, right? Let's go to Delta and see what their restrictions are, if there are any. Once again, it's an overnight flight from JFK to Charles de Gaulle. It tells you everything from the average leg room to, Wi-Fi, if you have to pay for that. And once again, check bag for a fee, but you can bring on carry-on. Ticket changes for a fee, fare non-refundable, taxes may be refundable. Then you also have Air France, which is a similar price to Delta, exact price actually, and we could drop down on that. Overnight flight, same information. You can do your research based on your destination. But what I also want to show you, you can switch to see if you these dates right here, you need flexibility with. Let's go ahead and hit the date grid. The date grid will give you more options to choose from. So right now, we're looking at Monday, April 17th, leaving on Wednesday, April 26th for $385. But let's just say Monday didn't work for you, right? You can leave on Tuesday, April 18th, and come back on the 26th for the same price. You can leave on Wednesday, April 19th, come back on the 26th for the same price, and the 20th. If you want to see what the other, prices for the dates around the same time, you just look at the grids. And red indicates the higher prices for that time. So those are the ones you if it's within your budget, fine, but you want to see if maybe changing a day will make sense. So like here, if you left on Monday, April 17th and came back on Sunday, April 23rd, your airfare would be $575. But if you left on Monday, April 17th and stayed one more day till Monday, April 24th, you're going to save over $100, almost $100, and what's that, $50 to $140. So that may be an option for you. So let's just click on that. So once you click on that grid, then you're going to hit OK, and it's going to bring up that option for you. So as you can see, here we are leaving New York on the April 17th, returning on the 24th. And these are the fares that are available. Once again, Norse is the cheapest at $435. You have Icelandic Air, you have Delta, and the prices start to go up. But then there's other flights where you can leave, and it may take longer for cheaper fares. Now, if none of these airlines, if you have a preference in how you want to travel, this is how we're going to change, or where we're going to change the filters. Let's just say you only want nonstop flights. You're going to drop down where it says stops, click nonstop. Let's just say, and then we're going to close that out. Let's just say you have a preferred airlines, right? Or a preferred alliance of airlines, and you don't want to see anything except that. We're going to switch off, select all airlines. So all of these checks go away. And let's say Star Alliance is your preferred airline, and you have miles there. And maybe you have miles at SkyTeam as well. I'm going to use those two. It will give you only those options, right? And so let's just look at, and it gives you also, if you change your dates, even cheaper fare suggestions, right? So you can change your dates, but we're not going to change the dates just yet. We're going to come out of this, and we're going to see what the options are based on the Star Alliance and what was the SkyTeam. SkyTeam. So yeah, so it's giving you the Air France, Delta, United options, right? And these are all part of the two alliances that were selected. And you'll see the prices based on those dates, based on the alliances. But once again, look, if you change your dates from the 18th, instead of doing the 17th to the 24th, for these prices, $900 round trip plus, there's an option if you traveled the 18th through the 26th using these alliances for $589. So let's go ahead and change the dates. So here's 589, and here's the grid. The grid pops up again, and you're going to look and see what some of the ones in the the prices in green. So red means highest prices, green means lowest prices. So let's go ahead and click the suggestion that they gave us at 589. We're going to click that, and we're going to hit OK. And Air France, nonstop, overnight flight. Let's go ahead and do a drop down from JFK to Charles de Gaulle, overnight, leaving on the 18th and returning on the 26th. You are flying economy on a Boeing 777, and the ticket is sold by Delta. So you're part of that alliance. So if you have points, if you are part of their award system, then you can select that specific alliance. We also can look at, other dates that may be slightly higher, but, again, if you prefer to take a certain airline or if you prefer to leave on a certain date, it gives you the options. The other thing you can look at, let's look at it by the price graph. And for people who I like the grid, with the price showing, but the graph also is easy to look at, and it shows you the cheaper flights and it shows you the higher, the more expensive flights. And so you can see, and it will give you the dates as you roll over it. You can see what dates work for you and what dates don't. And maybe you just want to say, oh, okay, here's a cheap flight. Let me see what dates those are. Oh, here's a cheap flight. Let me see what dates those are. But again, it gives you a wealth of options to choose when you're searching for your flights. You can also see if you want to do connecting airports. If you want bags included, you can add that and see how the price changes if you want to stay within a certain price. So this goes all the way up to $9,600. Maybe you don't even care about anything over $700, right? So let's try to scroll this all the way down. Well, we'll just do 900 for sake of time. So nothing more than 900, and close that out. And then you'll see it's updated only with fares that are under $900. So now let's just say, also times, I don't want to, skip through anything, but if you have certain times in mind for your outbound as well as your return, then you can scroll and include the times that you're interested in. We're just going to leave it as it is for the sake of this. But once you click on, let's say you want to select the flight for $589, it will allow you to pick your return flight. So here's the best returning flight. We scroll down. Oops. Let me go back to the best returning. We're going to hit the arrow, and it's going to tell you you'll leave Charles de Gaulle at 7:30 p.m. It's a total travel time of 8 hours and 15 minutes, and when you will arrive back at JFK. And it gives you information about baggage, et cetera, et cetera. And it gives you other options for returning flights, but it will increase the price. So if you want to keep the $589, this is your one option using the two alliances that we checked. Now, if it doesn't matter which airline you take and you're just looking for the cheapest, then you will get rid of, check this out, you will get rid of the alliance factor. And it will go back to automatically picking any airline that fits within the cheaper criteria. And let's go back to The homepage, not the homepage. So we're getting rid of the Star Alliances. And this is when that 385 flight will pop back up. And that was the cheapest one, right? So we're going to select this flight and see what the option coming back is. And then it gives you the one option. If you want to keep the 385 flight, then this would be your one option for coming back. You don't even have options to pay more because I guess Norse only has certain amount of flights and they're not connected with an alliance. So you have that one option. And the total price will start, it's $377. I'm sure that there's some taxes or something, but it also gives you the option. Let's just say, oh, okay, this sounds good. Let me track this price to see if it goes lower, or when it goes higher, you can turn on tracking. So I'm gonna just monitor the lowest price for this itinerary and receive price alerts and travel tips by email. I love, love, love Google Flights. It keeps you posted, sometimes too much, and you have to remember to turn it off when you no longer have use for that particular trip, but it's a great way to find cheap flights. Let me see if there's any. Oh, hey, Sonia. Hey, sis. Miss you, girl. And you are so welcome. Oh, we got to catch up. I actually have some things to share. Anyway, so good to see you. And if whoever's seeing this, please follow Miss Sonia Unapologetics Journey on her channel. She is all about mental health and wellness and travel from a Black woman's perspective. And so if you get a chance, check out her channel. So I'm quickly going to go to another example. Trying to figure out this sharing. Okay, so let's go to explore again. And let's say you are leaving from, I don't know, let's just say Atlanta. And you want to check out someplace warm, right? Really warm. You want to go to the Caribbean. And you want to you have certain dates. Let's just say your dates are the 8th. I'm just going to keep it the 18th through the 26th. Let's say you have certain dates. It's going to give you the least expensive, options for the Caribbean. And based on the timing as well. So if you want to go to the Bahamas, it's $379, Cayman Islands, $477, Port-au-Prince, Haiti, $407, Aruba, $587, and St. Lucia, which is a great deal, $359. So let's go ahead and click on St. Lucia and see what pops up. So American Airlines, very reputable airline. Some people have their opinions about American, but that's with every airline, right? So we want to see what the $359 round trip is looking like. Okay, here we go. So it's a 6-hour flight with one stop in Charlotte. And it's a 50-minute layover. I do not do any 50-minute layover. That is cutting it way too close, especially for those of you who are traveling internationally. Way too close. So I would not select this flight, but let's go ahead and look at the date grid to see what other options there are out there. And like I said, the red means high prices, the green means low prices. So we want to first look at what the green options are, right? And so maybe, and I didn't call this out, but listen, you can switch weeks, right? If you want to look further in April because it's spring break or something that week, or you can just keep scrolling until you find the dates that work for you. So let's go ahead and try Sunday, April 23rd, coming back on the 27th. We're going to click that, hit OK. And once again, it's that 50-minute it's that 50-minute layover. Oh no, did it change? It looks like it changed. Okay, so here's, let me go back, y'all. I missed something. Okay, let's go to the date grid again. Sorry about that. So we wanted to do this option, 370. Hit OK. Okay, so the 370 is, okay. Ooh, this might not be a bad one. Let's see, the 370. What is the itinerary? You have a 23-hour, a full day layover in Charlotte. And for me, for someone who has family and friends in Charlotte, may not be a bad thing. So you would leave Atlanta and arrive in Charlotte, leave Atlanta at almost 9 o'clock, arrive at almost 10 o'clock or just close to 10 o'clock. And then you have a full day in Charlotte. Wow. That's kind of good for some people. Now, if you just want to get to St. Lucia, then maybe not. But this will be a great segue into my next example on what site to use, because I'm big on layovers because it likes you get, for me, I get more bang with my buck. But again, you still get in to St. Lucia at a decent hour the next day because you're leaving Charlotte at 9 a.m. and you get to St. Lucia by 1:24, which to me is not a bad thing. You also have the option of a shorter layover slightly of 19 hours, but that still may be too long for some people. But just a great way to, and it lets me also know, so let me call this out. Unfortunately, the price you saw on the previous page has changed. That's fine. Still only $438 round trip to St. Lucia, which St. Lucia is not an inexpensive route. So this is still a good deal. But yeah, let's go back and pick someplace else. So I did the Caribbean, right? And we're just going to now we're going to switch to flexible dates. And it's going to give you the option for which month you want to go. It's also going to give you the option. Maybe you just want a weekend trip. Maybe you want a longer trip, 2-week trip. We were looking at the 1 week. So let's hit weekend. And we're going to see what's available December, January, February, March, April, and May. And see what comes up. So here are some of the recommended inexpensive fares. Montego Bay, look at that. Montego Bay, Jamaica, $217 round trip option. Punta Cana in DR, $216 round trip option. So let's take a look at what that fare looks like. Frontier doesn't surprise me. But again, you can always switch airlines. Some people, don't mind the discounted airlines. I've actually never traveled on Frontier, but I have traveled on Spirit. I don't have a problem with Spirit Airlines at all. You guys could complain all you want about it, but I have no problems. I haven't had any worse issues with Spirit than I've had with some of the major airlines. And if you plan accordingly, then to get your luggage paid for in advance if you have to check luggage or even bring on a carry-on. You save some dollars there. And they used to have a club that cost like $69 for the entire year, but you would save that $69 on one trip with like flights and your luggage. So anyway, I'm not adverse to discounted fares. I've just never taken Frontier, so I don't want to. So here's a Spirit option for $363, and that may be something you want to look into. Delta, you see it's much higher at $843, but if that's within your budget, then fine. So these are just ways to find discounted fares. So let me see, because I do want to show another example. I want to show, let's quickly. If you want to include, okay. So let's just pick, let me see. If we're going to, let's say Miami from Atlanta. I'm just going to do this for a quick example. It's 150 round trip for the dates we selected. Again, using Spirit and Frontier as the cheaper airlines, but it's also giving the option for Delta, 195 round trip. So let's just select that for people who are real conscious of their points and Delta. You can also, excuse me. Oh, it's giving you the dates, January 19th through the 22nd. So you can also, let's say we select this. So we selected the outbound, we selected the return. It gives you the options to upgrade. So let's just say you're not happy with the basic economy, you want to do main cabin fare, you can choose that. You can also choose Delta Comfort, and once you hit continue, it also gives you the checked bag fares. But once you hit continue, this is what I want to show you. It takes you directly to the Delta page. You can't book on Google Flights, but it will direct you directly to the airline that you want to book on. And so again, it's really Google Flights is a one-stop resource if you want to research inexpensive fares. So go ahead and it tells you 2 left at this price. So it wants you to go ahead and book, because when you come back in 10 minutes, those flights may not be there. So yeah, so that's Google Flights in a nutshell. We'll do more examples on another day. Do I have messages from Google? From Delta, looks like it. But let's try another resource. Let me find the page. I'm going to stop sharing really quick. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, so hello. Will you speak to BCFC? Is that British Columbia? What's the biggest differences, services, experiences? Of course, I'm on the frugal bandwagon. Just JC. So I need to know what FC stands for, because as a traveler, when I see BC, I think of British Columbia. I don't know what FC stands for. So if you can let me know what that means, Ms. M. Dickens, I can definitely provide those insights. But while I'm waiting for you to answer that question, let me go ahead and get to the other resource that I like to use. So let me find the right window. Nope. Give me a second. I have too many windows because I was trying to show you guys a few more examples, and okay, let's see. No, first class versus regular. Oh, so first class versus regular coach. Okay, so the question was, will you speak to business class, first class, international travel? What's the biggest differences, services, experiences? Of course, I'm on the frugal bandwagon. Okay, so yeah. So if you're on the frugal bandwagon, first class is not part of the frugal conversations at all. Business class is not even part of the frugal conversations. Now, if you have status at any of the airlines like Delta, United, American, under any of those alliances, there's a potential for you to get upgraded, which will not, the cost will not be as steep as if you just bought the ticket outright. But I'll show you an example. Since you asked the question, before I move on, let me go ahead and show you what that example looks like on Delta. So let me just pull up Delta. Hold on a second. We're going to go to Delta, right? Let me make sure the right screen is showing. Yep. Okay. So let's just say you want to book a trip and you want to go from New York to LAX. And it's round trip. And you could even do my dates are flexible. And it's one passenger. And let's look up basic economy first. And then we'll come back and compare it to the other classes. So it's loading the results. And what you're going to see is traditionally there's a vast difference in prices. So I'm not going to change any of the dates, right? Let's just look at the graph really quick. We see that a round trip using the dates January 19th through the 22nd range anywhere from $218. The high is like 227 or 236 for those dates on Delta. Basic economy, which means basic, right? It means basic. And you can, I'm not going to spend too much time, but it means no frills. Let's just say that. You'll probably have to pay for everything if you want to choose your seat. If you want a meal, all of that, you'll probably have to pay for. But let's go ahead and modify this. And instead of doing basic economy, we want first class. So remember, 218 to 236 was the price range. Now, if you do first class, you will see the results are loading. And with first class, absolutely. Are there comforts? You get way more leg room. You get way more attention, but you're going to pay way more money. So if you are interested, they're not even offering first class. Well, they're sold out on certain flights and they're not offered on others. But okay, here's a refundable first class ticket for $1,666 round trip versus $217 or $236 for the same flight, right? From the same point A to point B. Now, for those people that it doesn't matter, money ain't a thing, not the frugal consumer. And I'm in that group too. I don't like spending a whole lot of money on airfare, but I do register for a lot of these point systems. Like even Starbucks is connected to Delta now. So if you drink or eat at Starbucks, whatever you spend goes towards points, Delta miles points. So let's just click on a refundable first class ticket. And let's see if it breaks down exactly what you'll get. Oh, wow. So it doesn't even have okay. It doesn't even have another 1666 option, which is interesting. So meaning you're going to end up paying, here's one. Here's a refundable first class. So that means your price is going to be $1,666 round trip instead of picking another flight, which would impact the fare. So let's go ahead. So your total price your total amount due would be $1,665, but let's see what is included. Other than free cancellation and free checked baggage and wine and sitting in a preferred seat where you get to select your seats. We're going to check seat selection. And these are upgrade to travel in luxury. Okay, so it tells you these are the first class seats. These are the comfort seats. So Delta Comfort Plus. The main cabin is right back here for 200 and whatever it was. So this may be 236 or 217. But this is what you're getting. You're getting you're getting the chance to board first. You're getting the chance to have free unlimited drinks. You're getting the chance to eat for no additional cost. You're getting the chance to um, get your baggage. If you're checking baggage, it usually comes off first if you're in first class. So you don't have to wait for your baggage like the people in the main cabin. Do I think it's worth an extra $1,000+ Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not for that type of flight. Business class is similar. So for Delta Comfort would kind of be what business class would be. But again, you're right behind first class, and there are some allowances or some luxuries that you get. But again, not for the frugal traveler. Let's just say that. So let me see if that, hopefully that made sense. No first class versus regular coach. Business class, I had business class in mind, pardon me. I only flown non-rev. I'm starting to purchase tickets, non-rev. I've only flown non-rev. Girl, you are speaking in code. Non-revenue? Like, I don't know. Non-rev. I don't know. And I think I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. I'm sorry, M. Dickens. I'm not sure what non-rev means. But if you're a frugal traveler, then plain and simple, business class and first class are not frugal options. You're going to pay a lot more to live that life. Now, again, that's totally your choice. But the reason I'm on the frugal bandwagon, if you're on the frugal bandwagon, then the points are the way to go. You should sign up for these rewards, these Sky Miles, that almost every airline offers. Every airline that I've ever taken offers. So you may want to sign up with those and then try to upgrade using your points. Yes, stay by. Sorry. Yes, stay by. Sorry. You explain, we'll never use these search options. Oh, thanks for sharing. Oh, okay. I'm glad. I wasn't sure that I understood what non-rev was. So I appreciate that makes sense. And that's most airlines. Like sometimes you'll luck out. They don't do it as much anymore, but they used to sometimes and be like, oh, you've been upgraded to business class or you've been upgraded to first class. And for God knows what reason, but sometimes it would happen. Not so much anymore because so many people have points and want to use those points to upgrade. And so the chances of random upgrades are less these days. So I do want to share the other, give me a second, guys. Let me close out some of these windows because I am, okay. So again, there are tons of resources. I always say start with Google Flights simply because it's one of the easiest to use. It's the most comprehensive. It's a search engine that is connected with all of the major airlines. And so it just makes perfect sense to, okay, here we go. So the other site that I'm going to pull up right now is called Skiplag. And I kind of talked about it. Let me pull it up, present, share screen, Windows. Okay, share. And then how to stream. Okay, so Skiplag is a resource, autocorrect. Okay. Got it. Oh, listen, I get it. I get it. Trust me, these technology, what they're supposed to help us, right? They're supposed to help us live an easier life, and sometimes autocorrect will mess up your life. So let's go ahead and check out this site. And it's called Skiplag. That's SKIPLAGGED.com. And not only does it give you good fares for those like me who like to do a layover someplace, to get like, especially if you're traveling internationally, um, then I truly recommend. So all airports in New York, as you can see, I I use this site as well, so it's already populated. But let's go ahead and say anywhere. And let's just say I want to travel. I don't know, I'm gonna do the summer. Let's go out a little. I'll just start in June. No, we did June before as a date, so let's do July. Oh, it's July, and I'll do 2 weeks, and I'll do search flights. So as you can see, it's going to give you a list, which I prefer the map. So I'm going to pull up the map because I want to look international. And let's say I want to go to, let's see, Turkey. Okay. Of course, my clicker is only, okay, is there no, let's go list. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's put in Turkey because for some reason it's not giving me, and it could be because of the dates. Usually I do, let's go back to flights. And maybe because I'm not logged in. That could also be it. But I'm gonna just put in Turkey. Istanbul, Turkey, and do search flights. And I would log in, but I'm not sure what personal stuff is gonna pop up. But it also gives you a track price option, a price history option, and you can turn that on and it's still searching for some of the better flights. And I don't know if you noticed, it went from like 1100 or 1200 down to the 900s. And it also, similar to Google, it gives you the airlines you can choose from. But this is the difference for me, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. If you want a layover, this is where you include the layover. So you know the direction you're going in. Let's just say I wanted to stop over in, I don't know, Amsterdam. And the reason I'm picking Amsterdam is because I love the city, number one. Okay. I'm picking Amsterdam because I love the city and it's also kind of en route, and it will give you the total cost for that fare. Now, again, I could continue to edit the dates if these fares do not look right for me. Let's just say, no, I don't want to pay $1,200 on a airfare, for airfare, or $1,400, then I can change the dates. But let's just see what it will look like with that one layover, because here we go. So the departing flight is leaving. It's on Turkish Airlines, which is if you're, traveling to, oh, wait, it changed. Okay, select your departing flight. So let's just say I did pick Turkish Airlines, sorry. So it's leaving at 12:50 p.m. and it's arriving at, in Turkey, Istanbul, at 5:40 a.m. But why is it not showing me my stop? Maybe I have to go through the whole thing. Okay, so let's go through, excuse me. Let's do the return. The return is 415 as well. Okay, here we go. So it's giving me the one stop. Why? I think I might need to be logged in, but this is the flight with the layover. So let's just say I click book now. And it's going to take me to another site as well. So we'll go to bookings.com, and it's going to tell me it's economy. Okay, here's the details of the flight. I'm sorry, y'all, but I think if I was logged in on Skip Lag, then it would show me the details. But here we go. Why is it not showing me? I'm sorry, y'all. This is let's do this one more time because this is not showing me the layover. And as you guys saw, I selected layover. So let's go ahead. Let's do this one more time. We're going to Istanbul, and we're going to, you know, the devil is busy. So New York to Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, we're going to pick. First and the 15th. We're going to do search flights. Here we go. Maybe I checked something wrong here. So let's go through this one by one. To do stops, we want to do one stop. Doesn't matter when we take off. We don't care about the flight duration. We don't care about the airlines. And let me just make sure this is showing. Yeah, okay. We don't care about the airlines. Don't care about so layover city. So let's do, I said Amsterdam, right? Okay, so Amsterdam is selected. Is there anything else? This one. Okay, so something was okay. So there's no for this time frame. There's nothing available. Let's try. Let's go to Dubai and see if there's anything. Okay. Okay, so it's giving the layover cities that are available if we flew to Dubai, and Amsterdam is one of those. So I only want Amsterdam to show up. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I must have not clicked something right the first time, but here we go. So yeah, so you can then select a flight based on you're leaving New York, going to Dubai on January 1st, returning on the 15th. And these are the options if you want to do a layover in Amsterdam. And so let's go out. I'm going to take the longest flight available because I want to spend the most time in Amsterdam. And so let's see what it looks like on KLM. I'm familiar with KLM for $1,294. And then is there anything for 1,200? Well, coming back, there's nothing for 1,294, which is disappointing, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and see what the 1,400 is going to bring up. So yeah, okay, perfect. So here we are. So if I left on Saturday, July 1st at 5:30 p.m., I arrive in Amsterdam at 6:50 a.m. then I would leave Amsterdam on 2:30 p.m. at 2:30 p.m. the next day and arrive in Dubai at 11:05. So that gives you about 5 hours in Amsterdam if you wanted to, risk that. But then the return trip could be really interesting. I love Emirates airline, and it's part Emirates and part Virgin. So again, coming back, you would have the option. Unfortunately, this price went up. Oh no. Yeah, no, the price went up from 1,200 to 1,400. But again, for some reason, this is taking me to another option. Yeah, it's taking me to another option. So I'm going to come out of this, and I'm going to show you one more way. And it's actually Google again. So again, I do use skip lag, but Google will give you the same thing, give you the same options as well if you want to do a layover. And so let's go ahead and, okay, so Google is showing. Let's show you how that looks. And I think I might have to be logged in, and I didn't think about that prior to, so forgive me. I think it gives you limited access if they don't know who you are, but that's fine. So we'll just go ahead to Google, and we go back to flights. And I'm going to click Google Flights again, and I'm going to run through this really quick. Okay, so there we go. New York to Dubai. We're going to do search. We're going to do any dates. Oh, no. We're going to do explore. Sorry about that. New York to Dubai. DBX. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to pick one of these flights. Let's pick Qatar. And then you can add here. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. If you go to the filters, you do connecting airports. Go to the airport. I'm going to remove all connecting airports, or you can look at connecting airports, but I'm going to select Amsterdam only, and it's going to pull up. So this seems actually much simpler than the skip lag. But if you create an account with skip lag and log in, it may be easier, but I can't log in right now because one, I'd have to type out my information, and I don't know if it's secret. Anyway, so long story short, let's just see. You can take Emirates airline. You can, these flights are pretty steep, so I don't know if I would do those, but what I would do, it gives you an option to change the dates. But like I said, we can always go to the date grid and see there's an 1800 flight, there's 1700 flight, and this is so close. Let's go to another date really quick. Let's go to, here we go. And it's showing you the prices too. So if we went to January 26th, or even, let's do the January 29th. That one's $700, but we could check the next month, see if there's anything cheaper. Still in the 700s, still in the 700s and 800s. March, 700s and 800s. So let's just pick one that's 700. So the 19th, and coming back on the 29th. Done. And do we still have the connecting air flight connections? Okay. And so let's see. So if we do KLM, there's one stop available for $782. And KLM, like I said, is part of the reason I got out of that is because I'd rather have 11 hours. So here you see it's only 6 hours and 5 minutes in Amsterdam. The one stop in Amsterdam, if I chose this one for the same price, is 11 hours and 10 minutes, which is a lot more time to explore a city. If you want to, you can select that flight. It's an overnight flight on KLM. It leaves Dubai at 12:50 a.m., arrives at 5:55 a.m. in Amsterdam, and then you have 11 hours. You don't leave Amsterdam until 5 o'clock, which means all things, normal, meaning there's no issues with the airports or anything like that. You can stay, you don't have to even get back to the airport until, I would say, 2:30, right? 2:30. There's a place for you to check your luggage, if you need to, if you don't want to carry it around the city, but that gives you almost a full day to kind of explore the city, go have a museum experience or whatever it is you want to do, have a Heineken experience. But it's a great way to add a layover, with your trip. And for $782, that's like getting to see two countries at one time, at once. And then there's other layovers that you could add a longer layover. I think the most I've seen on, I want to say, Qatar or Emirates is a full day, like 20 something hours. And maybe let's see if we can do a quick example. If I don't add the place, because sometimes it'll just pick for you. It will pick the layover for you if you don't pick where you want it to be. So like here, I have all connecting airports selected. And you do that by just switching from this, all connecting, to this. And so it's a great way to, like I said, explore other cities. You can do flexible dates and look to see. Sometimes they show, let's say, reset. So yeah. So let's do further out. Let's do this. Let's do, it's only going a year. So let's do October of next year, 2023. Still same price, United, with no stops. One stop in Amsterdam is a little more. Oops, sorry, y'all. Okay. My screen closed. Sorry. So yeah, so this is pretty much, these are, I mean, there's other sites that I will share another one. I'm not going to walk through it because I think I kept you guys too long as it is, but we could just go to the page. But Skyscanner is another great resource. And what I will say is that it's great to sign up for their emails. There's a way you can email. Oh, listen, see, I have, I've been searching for Guadalajara, so it popped up. But I don't know if you saw that, but you can go ahead and sign up to be part of their list. You can also follow them on social media. Sometimes they post both on Facebook and Instagram. Their deals of the day, which can be amazing. And so, again, going from New York to Toronto, $93, to San Juan, $128. And these are their best flight deals that they selected for me based on my history or my search history. And it's just a great resource to be kept abreast of all of the great deals that they have. And so, and it's a reliable, so many people use this as a resource. And so, with that being said, I think I'm just going to, see if there's any questions. If not, I will come back and do this again. But I definitely want you guys to don't think that you just have to go to the website of the actual airline, because there's a competition happening on these search engines. And sometimes you can get a cheaper rate or a cheaper fare quoted by using one of the search engines. So my favorites are Google Flights. I always start with Google Flights, Skyscanner, which we just shared, and SkipLag, which is another great resource. But like I said, I think I'm usually logged in when I use that resource, and there may be a wall if you're not logged in. It looks like there is because the details were limited. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I will be back this week with some more financial live demonstrations, because 2023 is going to be different, y'all. 2023, we are going to make money, we're going to save money, and we're going to stay healthy. We're going to stay super healthy. And I'm also going to come back with some healthy tips for, the new year. Not resolution tips, but healthy tips as it relates to us, and sharing one of my recent stories, with a cardiologist who I've never seen before. So more information to come. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. 1 week till Christmas. Can't believe it. The year is almost out. 2 weeks to the New Year's, and hopefully you guys will have a blessed one. So thank you for tuning in. I'm Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. Like this video, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.